Hello, I'm Wendy. We're going to be looking at painting florals today, and I'm going to concentrate on blackthorn. There are some pictures of mine that I took recently that you can see here. We're going to be painting in a fast and loose way, but we're going to have a pretty slow start. This is because we're going to have a really good look at the flower, and we're going to do some drawings in order to understand its structure. This is how I sorted out the structure of blackthorn for myself. Usually I do some drawings with pencil in a sketchbook to keep, but this time I've produced a worksheet. At the end of this video I'll give you some details of how you can download this as a PDF. It can be downloaded from my website along with some additional information related to this video. I'll give you a quick talk through. What I started off doing was removing the petals from the flower, and then if you look at number 1, what we were left with was the central ovary with the sepals going around, 5 of them. And then number 2, the petals went on top like this and they got narrower where they attached to the ovary. You usually see them as in number 3, with that narrow bit really being hidden. Numbers 4 and 5 show the stamens. The central ovary area seemed to vary quite a lot in colour and tone, depending on the flower source and the lighting conditions. If you don't have access to blackthorn, you can use any of my images here, and also use any flower that you want that you do have access to, something with a simple structure. Don't forget you've also got access to books and to Google Images to help you out. Start simply with your painting and do a well-observed drawing of one flower on watercolour paper. Make the flower painting face on. That will make it quite a lot simpler for you to draw. And then I'll take you through the painting process. Start off by mixing some colours for the background. It doesn't matter what you use your imagination, use your favourite colours. In this case I used ultramarine with a bit of light red. I used a bit of purple and some green and some yellow. Using some clean water, wet the area thoroughly around the flower and then start dropping in your colours. I've speeded up the footage from this next little segment. It's very important to work this step quickly and to keep everything very wet around the flower. If you feel the paper is drying out, then you can always use a spray and spray some water on the areas that you need to. Wait until the background is thoroughly dry before you start painting the flower, the little bud and the little branch. I forgot to mention that I use some masking fluid for the stamens. This is where I started adding the shadow colour. I'm using a mix of ultramarine with a touch of light red. I'm just tidying up, fine-tuning a little bit here with some white designer's gouache. I just felt that the white petals looked like they might be underneath those sepals, and they do need to sit on top. So just a little bit of white gouache should make that read a little bit better. I'm using some cadmium orange here for the anthers. I would suggest doing a few of these studies. They make nice little paintings in their own right, and they'll give you lots of practice before starting anything that might be a bit more complicated. Here are two more that I did. I dropped salt in the background. You may think I went over the top a little bit. I think a good next stage in our painting fast and loose approach would be to paint a small picture similar to this one, looking at the flowers from different angles. And now, putting everything together that we've learned, let's tackle something along these lines. If you're not using blackthorn, then paint a few flowers of your choice together in your picture. I've already put a wet into wet background on this little picture, as you can see, and sprinkled a little bit of salt in there. I did forget to put the masking fluid stamens on there, so I think at the end of the picture I used some white masking fluid. The following demonstration will be unnarrated. This is where I added a little white gouache to make the stamens stand out against the dark background. I could also have masked out some of the small dots for the anthers, but I forgot. And the little bit of splattering never comes amiss. It gives a little bit of life, I think, to the picture. The last stage is to rub out all the pencil lines. It makes quite a difference to the finished picture and should be easily done if you've used a nice soft 2B pencil. This last demonstration was done in almost real time, excluding the drawing time. I had to slow down for demonstration purposes, and I was not quite as fast and loose as I was when I did this picture. If you enjoy watercolour painting and found this video useful, then subscribe to my YouTube channel here. You can also visit my website, which is linked in the description box below, and here you'll find details about my online tuition, which is related to these videos but includes much more content. Bye for now, and I hope you join me again.